Hello my fellow gamers and Cities Skylines fans, and welcome to Designing New Cities episode 9. In the previous episode, I showed you that I am planning to start a third city as part of this let's play, and I gave you a small sneak peek at the idea for it. In this episode, I will show you my current prototype for that city, made up of separate fishing villages and a central production district. I will also show you everything I have added and changed in my first city called ColdSnap, how the new district looks like, and plans for a metro. Then we will take a look at the GreatSpiralCity, which is kept up growing at a nice pace, and I will try to implement one idea that came as a suggestion from one of you, my subscribers, about an underground spiral beneath my GreatSpiralCity to help service vehicles do their job more easily. So now, welcome to the prototype of Fish and Chips. This is what I've named my third city, which is, like I said, going to be fishing villages and an industry at the middle of the map. Currently, this is the idea that I have had. It relies on a central ring of highways, which are connected to the main highways by underground ramps, and I'll show you these in a moment. So this one here is bringing in the traffic towards this middle ring of highways. Then the Sims can choose one of these highways to actually get off and into the city. And they are getting to this central ring, which is a two-lane one-way, which goes all the way around from left to right if you look at it from this perspective. And from here they can choose ramps to go into the two lanes that are on the outer edge, where they can access the homes and businesses. When they actually want to go back to the highway from the city, what they do is choose this two-lane on the outside, and from there choose a number of the ramps across that part to access an underground highway. From that underground highway, there are only four ramps into the highway here at the central ring, and then from here they can go all around until they hit the one ramp that leads them back to the highway over here. And as you can see, that flows nicely here, but the teams are using the system to actually go from one side to the other because they dislike taking the long trip around. They actually like to go from this side, enter for example here, then go over here, use this, then they'll go to the outside, and then they'll go on this ring, and then they'll get to the other side. So because this is going to be a small village, don't mind the high residential buildings at the moment, this is just a prototype. It's gonna be a low residential when I actually build it. I'm not sure that maybe this was the best design. So what I was thinking is actually making a few changes, and I'll buy this area here to show these changes to you. So what I'm going to start with is just making sure that this highway is a little bit thicker and has more space. So I'm going to make it go onto this side a little bit, like this, and then over here, and then I'll connect it to the bridge up here, while the other one is also going to take a little bit of a detour to give me a little bit more space, something like this. And now from here I can get an off-ramp to go over here underground, and from over here another off-ramp, for example here, also underground. Now these two will merge into a single one. And remember, because these are small villages, I don't expect too much traffic into every single one of them. Now over here, I mean to build an underground highway runabout compared to the previous one that was on level ground. And we'll see how that turns out. So I'm going to make it by using one length like this and then turning down. Alright, so in here come the highways, which merge into a single one like this. So this one is going to merge into this one, like so, and then they hit over here. Now if you imagine somebody driving into this part of the city, they've just come here. So how do they get to anything over here? They actually use any number of ramps that are going to be situated and going like this, and they lead the traffic all the way here. Now because this roundabout isn't very big, I cannot put too many off-ramps right next to each other to lead to separate parts. I'll have offshoots branching out from this one ramp here. So this way they'll leave the underground system like this, and then I'll do the same for the rest of it. Now as I have finished branching out the entrances for the city, you can see how this looks like. So we have this middle roundabout here, from which branch out these entrances to the city and all the off-ramps, and on the edge of the city rather than right here. So now that the Sims have gotten into the city, we need to give them a way to go about the city. For this I'm going to use a two-lane one-way, which is going to connect all of these. Now currently this is going to look horribly, but as I said, this is just the preliminary design. That was version 0.1, this is pretty much 0.2. So we're just now creating something that should be interesting to see how it turns out, if it works out, and then expand on the design as we go along. Alright, so this is all connected. Like I said, this will all look much better in a final version. We need to think of a way how will these themes actually get out. Now, in order for them to get out, my idea is going to remain close to what it was in version 0.01. So in this version 0.2, we are going to have something like this and the middle ring where they go like this and they go a bit more underground. So at level 2, they go all the way here. And then from here, they branch out to the highway. One branch can actually go onto this highway over here. And then they can leave the city. Like that. While the other branch goes up over here. And then they can leave the city through here. There aren't going to be any problems here because this is an off-ramp, this is an on-ramp, and the traffic here won't intertwine with each other. Now that we have that settled, we have a way for them to leave, but we still do not have a way for them to actually access this part. Now we need to find a way for these folks to actually get to this inner runabout, and that is going to be done by making sure that there are ramps which are going to come from a circle that's going to be built up here above. So what I'm going to place are again 2-lane one-ways. There is going to be another runabout here, which is going to look like something like this. And from this runabout, the Sims are going to actually access the one below it. I have moved the exit a little bit here off to the right, so it doesn't take too much space here in the middle. Now I just take an off-ramp and create an access point for this underground runabout. Now any Sim that wants to actually get out of the city comes here, goes underneath here, goes to the left, goes all the circle over here, gets to this point, and then exits using this ramp. Now I just repeat the process on several other points in order to get more of these ramps. Now that this is finished and I have all these ramps leading the traffic into the underground highway roundabout, which then leads the traffic out using this highway ramp here, this is completely finished. I have a way for them to get in, and then I have a way for them to get out. I just need places for zoning, and this is something I am going to think about when I actually build this properly. Now this is version 0.2, I will play around a little bit more with this, and then hopefully I'll be ready to show you version 1.0. Now over to ColdSnap. In my first city that I started for this Let's Play called ColdSnap, I have finished this work and jobs district. I have added a lot of these industrial buildings and they seem to be seeing not enough services, so I'll have to see what's going on there. I think it's just that they do not have enough traffic stops or enough or public transportation system to actually get them upgraded to level 3. And this is something that I can fix by adding a metro. Now, before I go on to the metro, I want to show you a little bit of a funny story that I had here. I had a problem with all of these vehicles that are coming in from the industry that's producing lumber and products from forestry that were trying to use this area here to get to their specific places. Some of them want to get to this building and export. Some of them are trying to access this road here and go to the industry. Some of them are trying to access this road down here and get over back to where they can access the lumber industry over here. And then there are some that actually use this ramp to get to the highway. So in order to allow everybody an access to every of these ramps, and considering that they only come from this 2-lane one-way and over here another 2-way one-way from here, I actually had to make a piece of highway here to get 3 lanes so that the traffic can more easily choose where they want to go and then use that path to get there. But as you can see, they still ignore the middle one and use the outer one if they want to travel forward. So this is another example of why you need this beautiful mod called Traffic Manager to actually change some of the actual paths here. So when they use this highway, I want them to use this one to turn left, this one to turn right, and I want them to use the middle one to go to this lane. Now, if they actually want to use any of these other lanes for traffic forward, I can actually give them an ability to use this one to go here, and this way I can make sure that every vehicle has to follow my desire which path they're going to take instead of their own. So now that we let the traffic run once more, we can see that they're actually now using all 3 lanes. Middle one for traffic going forward, the left one for them if they want to use this off-ramp, and this one if they want to go over here. So now everything flows much better when you actually have manual control. Now, as I said, over here I do need a metro system. I have started to need a metro system because I have a very long commute time for a lot of the workforce and want to remove some of the cars from these roads. Even though I have increased the speed on these roads up to 70 or 80 miles per hour so they can go much faster. As I was saying, I do need to actually give them a metro for these teams to actually use their cars less. Now how am I going to achieve this? Well, I'm going to take something from the newest DLC, the Sunset Harbor, the metro station. I'm going to place it here where I have left enough room. And then I'm going to use it to actually go underground wherever I am unable to go on the ground level. So from here, it's actually going to go underground. And then I'm going to take it all the way here to where I have a lot of sims who are actually educated to work in this area. So now I'll take the metro underground over here and then try to avoid all these roads, which I should be able to avoid by going to the second depth. And now I just have to think strategically where best to place these stations. Now I will use the underground ones because the above ground ones take too much space and I haven't left enough space here. I mean, I can check if there are any spots that I could place these, but no, not really. So I'm going to use the ones for the underground metro. I think 3 would be just about it for this area. So one here, and one in the middle. So this is how I'll place them. One will go here. I'll need one to be up here and one down here if it actually can fit. For some reason it doesn't want to fit. Well, it does want to fit here, so this is where I'll place it. I have 1, 2, 3 now, and I just need to find a way to connect them for an actual network. So this will go all the way here. I'll just have to give it some way. There we go, from there. Then it will connect to this one. And now we need to make a full circle. So this one will travel from here to here, like so. And then we should be able to get to here and then turn on to here. There we go. And from there we go down here. Here we might have a problem with depth. They seem to be at the same depth, these two. So we'll change the road to go a bit deeper. Actually, this is a highway ramp. So we'll take this one step down and then up again. That's reconnected. And now we can go back to the metro and get this connected. Excellent. And now we have to find a way for them to go back there. But considering that I have a lot of jobs here as well, maybe I should give them a metro stop as well. So I might want to actually take this metro down here and then go in here, take it to the middle, have a metro stop here. Maybe, yeah, I'll just do the underground one like this, connect this one, and then go up. And what would be cool is actually adding another stop here in this area. So I'll take it all the way here, go down from up there into the middle point here. Let's just see where can I actually place this. Yeah, there are a lot of roads here which are going to mess up my idea of placing this thing here. Maybe over here. No. Yeah, I think this will work out. I'll place it here. Then I'll take the metro onto here. And from this stop we should be able to reach the original starting position. There we go, we are almost there. Just one more up and now till here. And from here I think these two should connect easily. There we go. So that's done. We have a nice metro. Now we just need an actual line. It should start from here, I think. Go, well, depending on the side where this is turned onto. Let's say from here it goes over here. It gets to this stop, goes over here, goes then back down here, goes through here, here, and ends up here. So that's the one, and then we'll change this one to be a different color. It's going to be actually a red, and then we'll make another one just going in the opposite direction. So from here, 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 and then I think this one, then through here to this one, down here to this one, and then going back to here. There we go. So 2 lines, and that should get these 9 to 5 folks over here to the 3 of 3s and working jobs and the industry spiral. Now I haven't connected the bed and rest and the uptown to this area, and I will think about adding that a little bit later. Now let's turn to speed 3 and see how this works out. So we have 6 stops each and 3 vehicles each. Now let's see here a lot of folks, red and green, and they should be able to use this metro very well for their travels. Let's just see 1813, but I don't think that tells the full story yet. 150, 33, 150. I think we actually need more vehicles here. I'll go up to 5 on each. I may have to go up to 6 on this one. 700. Oh my god, how many is that? Whoa, 30, 200, 600, 200. Yeah, we definitely need more. Let's go to 8. There's still over 400 of them on this stop and no empty vehicle to pick them all up, but we'll wait for them to do a full circle and see how this works out. So now they're at 300 to 100. These are full. Okay, and this one should be able to pick up a lot of them from here. And these two as well. Alright, so I think this is working out with 8 metro cars. Yeah, this should work out with 8. Let's see about the other one. The other one is actually with 5, it's even too many. I could even reduce it down to 4. Alright, so that seems to be working out nicely. And I think we should see fewer cars on the streets now. And the streets should be less used by the residential vehicles taking these folks to work. And we can see the trains leaving here pretty much full. Alright, well, I think that was a nice addition to ColdSnap, and I would like to build something here, something interesting like I did here with the park. So I'm thinking to building something like that over here, and then this area will be pretty much filled up, except maybe this area, but I think I'll just do more solar power plants here. So this is going to finish the inside ring of this city, and then I'll see about building on the outside. Now it's time to go to the third city, the GreatSpiralCity. Now welcome once again to the GreatSpiralCity, where we are running in circles all the time. But considering that my underground network has gotten kinda complicated with all the need for civil vehicles to actually get back to one of these other rings and get back to their buildings, and then on top of that the waste processing complexes being off there. Now I was thinking about how to deal with this, and one of my subscribers, I'll put the name up here on the screen, and thank you very much for the suggestion, said that maybe I should actually just build an underground spiral, one road that's going to be underground, 2-lane, one way, and then onto this place all of these ramps that are currently looking haphazard like this. So by making this additional spiral underneath the city, I could avoid having a confused network like this and have something much better. So this is exactly what I'm going to try and do now, and I'll now just disable all of the connections that I have currently. Now because the first spiral was leading the traffic from the inside out, the second spiral has to take the traffic from the outside in. So it has to wind inside while this one is winding out towards the outside. So I'll be starting from here and taking this road like this to make an additional spiral, only this one is underground and going like this. Now how is this going to help me with the service vehicles? Well, it's pretty simple. Whenever a service vehicle is using this road, for example here, it is just going on the outside even further. But for it to actually go back to the inside, it's gonna need to take a ramp, for example from here, onto this underground spiral, and then it starts going back. Once that vehicle gets all the way, for example here, and now let's say I've gotten to the point where I have the second ring done, which is going like this, that vehicle can now go from this underground ring of this second spiral onto the above ground spiral and this ring. And this way, the vehicle that actually started from a building, let's say this is a firehouse, and that vehicle has started its journey from here all the way up to here, and then it turns over here to the left, goes underground, and then takes this spiral down. It takes this spiral for 2 circles over here, and then it exits over here and gets back to its firehouse. It's pretty ingenious, and I personally did not think of this But thanks to you, my subscribers, who always have great ideas for me, I can now redesign this with the underground spiral and make it much better. As everything that I need to do in these 3 cities, set up a good metro system for ColdSnap, do the underground spiral for the GreatSpiralCity, and also make the new design for the fish villages, I'm going to take a few days to actually work all of that out and show you in one of my next episodes for designing new cities. I would like to thank you all for watching, and please stay tuned for much more.